You dig into your garden, expecting soft, rich earth, but instead, your shovel hits something that feels like wet cement. It's sticky when it rains and rock hard when it dries. Clay soil is a dense reservoir of minerals and nutrients, but its physical structure often prevents plants from accessing that fertility. This microscopic cross-section shows the mechanical flaw of compacted clay compared to looser soil. The particles are so fine and tightly packed that they hold water on the surface, drain poorly, and form a dense barrier that traps roots without enough circulating air. Fortunately, you can fix this structure naturally. You can build a self-improving system that softens the ground without breaking your back, without tilling, and without any heavy machinery. To set up this system, you need the 4 elements shown in this flat lay: a source of organic matter like compost, a protective mulch like straw, a few stepping stones, and a packet of deep-rooted cover crop seeds. The ultimate goal is to restructure the native clay until it performs like the soil your plants prefer, rather than trying to dig it out and replace it. The most common mistake gardeners make when facing clay is reaching for a rototiller or trying to aggressively chop it up with a spade. Tilling clay forces it into a cement-like paste if it's wet, and requires grueling labor if it's dry. Either method destroys the microscopic biological networks that help soil drain. Step 1. Spread a 2 to 3 inch layer of organic matter, like compost or leaf mold, directly onto the surface of your garden bed. Work it into only the very top inch or 2, leaving the rest undisturbed. This diagram illustrates how organic matter acts as a soil conditioner. As the compost particles integrate with the dense clay, they physically separate the fine grains, creating tiny pockets that allow water to drain and roots to breathe. Provide this rich layer, and earthworms arrive as free biological tillers. Watch them pull organic matter downward, carving deep channels into the clay below. By continually layering compost season after season, you establish a new structural habit for the soil and let the local ecosystem handle the heavy lifting. But there is a hidden danger that can undo that hard work: your own footsteps. Look at this cross-section of a single footstep on wet clay. The weight of a human body compresses the layers downward, collapsing the newly formed air and water pockets that plants need to survive. Step 2. Establish strict no-walk zones. Create clear physical boundaries for your beds by laying down stepping stones for pathways or by building raised borders. Protecting the physical structure of your beds from foot traffic is a requirement for long-term recovery. Once your beds are safe to walk around, protect the soil from the harsh environment. Direct sunlight bakes exposed clay and compost into an impenetrable, hardened crust. Step 3. Apply a thick protective blanket of mulch directly over your compost layer. Straw, wood chips, or shredded leaves all work. In this side-by-side comparison, your goal is the right side. You want the dark compost layer entirely hidden by a uniform covering of mulch. This acts as a moisture-trapping shield today, preventing the surface from hardening, and it will slowly break down to become tomorrow's organic soil food. Step 4 brings in our final tool: biological drilling. We use deep-rooted cover crops, like daikon radish, to break up compaction deep underground. You simply push these seeds right through your mulch blanket and into the top layer of your prepared soil. Watch this mechanical process. A thick taproot forces its way down, fracturing solid, compacted subsoil. When the plant withers and decays, it leaves a hollow, nutrient-lined channel, allowing water and air to reach deep underground. By combining these cover crops with earthworms, you allow nature to fracture the hardpan for you, maintaining the integrity of the microbial ecosystem. Here is the fully integrated system at work. You have clear stepping stones protecting the area, a top layer of mulch shielding the moisture, rich compost feeding the topsoil, and deep roots drilling into the clay below. To be completely honest, clay soil takes time to transform into fluffy loam. However, the short-term wins are obvious. Within a single season, you will notice water draining faster, dirt becoming easier to dig, and plants growing with more vitality. Success in clay comes from the consistent construction of new soil layers. If you found this approach helpful, hit subscribe, and click on the next video where we break down exactly how to select the most resilient plants for your garden.